Today I'm critiquing Lainey Wilson's home in Nashville. I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video, so if you ever decide to buy, remodel, or design your own dream home, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy Mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
Hey AD, welcome to my house here in Nashville. Come on in. You don't even have to kick your boots off. This is the first home that I have designed. I feel like I have my fingerprints on everything in this house. I've always been a sucker for leopard. My very first pair of bell bottoms were blue leopard print, and so I had to have leopard carpet on the stairs.
Okay, very busy when you walk in, but you get to do that because you don't have an external wow factor. You don't see the backyard, you don't see the depth of the yard, you don't see the swimming pool. You've got this foyer to work with, and you want to make it eclectic, you want to make it nice. She's put interesting wallpaper with leopard runners on the stairs, same color tones, not bad. She's creating an internal wow factor.
A lot of my songs talk about feathers. There's even a line in Rolling Stone with, "Like a feather in the wind, I'll be gone."
Okay, the number one thing that pulls this room together is her jeans. Did you notice that? Like, her jeans, her outfit is the pop to this room. If anything, I would say it would have been cool to kind of, at some point, introduce this kind of a blue jean or leather even into this palette, because it definitely goes with what she's trying to do.
I love this bathroom so much. As soon as I saw this wallpaper, I was like, yep, two of my favorite things, cowboys, sunshines. Over here on the wall is my horse, who is turning 31 years old this year. He is my baby. His name is Tex.
Tex, I love you. Rest in peace. But horse on horse just doesn't go. First of all, your foyer is where you really expressed your personality. And when you put two rooms that are extremely expressive, right, in this eclectic way that really have nothing to do with each other when, as far as colors and everything goes, it's too much. It's like going from one room that is really expressive to another room that is really, really expressive. I'm fine with the wallpaper if you wanted to keep it. The painting just does not work. And the fact that the color is this dark navy blue, it just abruptly cuts the wallpaper in a really abruptive way. I feel like it should have been a lighter tone. I really think that kind of a leather brown would have picked up a little bit of that, yellow sun in the wallpaper, and you didn't really need to break it up with a darker color. You should have picked up a little bit of a lighter tone, brown, beige, in those themes would have looked better in this room.
This stained glass right here was done by a lady here in Nashville. She does a lot of stained glass for churches and cathedrals here in town.
Yeah, and not on really modern windows. This looks really strange. It's a beautiful piece. It looks good. And again, palette-wise, like you see that little shade of lighter blue is coming in. I like it. But it just looks really ridiculous on this modern window.
This is the living space, and this is my baby, Hippie Mae Wilson. This is her house, and I'm just living in it. I'm so sentimental. I mean, probably too sentimental, to be honest with you. The very first song I wrote was called Lucky Me. I love horseshoes. And so this reminds me of that first song I wrote. I always say, like, you don't want the couch in the living room to be too comfortable, that way people won't leave when you need them to. So it's got just enough stiffness to it. Also, one of my favorite things in here is this candle. It's called a big ass candle. That's the brand of it. Big ass candle.
Her accent is so strong. Makes me feel like my accent is not that bad. I actually have a funny story. A long time ago, this is right after 9/11, okay, when George Jr. Bush came up with the axis of evil. In Iran was one of the axis. So I met this girl, and she asked me where I'm from, and she had a southern accent. So I didn't want to say Iran because I didn't want to sound like axis of evil. So I just said Middle East. And she said, "Oh, I'm from the South, but my granny lives in the Midwest. Where are you from then? Cincinnati?" I don't think we really clicked, but I'm very attracted to the Southern culture, Western style. So yeah, that didn't work out. But the design over here is, again, eclectic, is all out. There are way too many colors going on. I'm still trying to absorb what's going on. I'll be right back with more information. Let's watch it.
I love the Western aesthetic I love it. I love it. Everything from the way that I dress to the way that I decorate my house too. This terracotta wall, it reminds me of Arizona and New Mexico, and I think there's something really special about those places, so I kind of wanted to bring that to Nashville. These curtains were trying to make their way over here, and 3 different times the ship had pirates, and I'm not even playing. They stole my curtains 3 different times.
What did you say? Did she say the ship had pirates? Like, was she affected by the Red Sea? Like the Houthis? Okay, there is craziness going on over here, okay? First of all, this terracotta kind of looks like a plaster, brownish, bronzish color. Way too busy. And then the curtain is even busier. Color-wise, she's matching stuff, okay? But overall, too busy, extremely busy pattern just don't look good next to each other. And again, then 2 cactuses, like one with metal, one real, way overboard. I'm trying to think how to kind of diffuse this situation, so I just know does not look good. But let's continue.
This is the dining area. Clearly somebody's horny and it ain't me. This is one of my favorite places in the house. This is where a lot of great conversations are had. I've written some songs around this kitchen table. This right here is called the fight light because it causes fights when you put it together.
Okay, I love this. This totally goes. Beautiful piece. The other chandelier with, hanging crystals, like you've gone to a fortune teller, horrible, really bad. But this works a lot. It's perfect. It really gives me that Western eclectic vibe in a modern way, and it's kind of cool that it feels like it cleanses all the other really crazy patterns that are going on and kind of diffuses it, so it's a centerpiece over the dining table. I like it a lot.
This is the kitchen. I love my Mackenzie Childs. I got the bowl, the teapot. So the microwave ended up down here because I just didn't want to spend any more money on putting it anywhere else. So if you're wanting to use the microwave, you got to get down on all 4s like this. You really got to work for it. So it makes you think about every single time you're using the microwave.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's so much elements and colors and palettes are going on. Pay attention. It's the same room. So she had to continue this kind of a, plaster looking wall, but then that breaks it up into white cabinets. Then you got this teal subway horizontal tiles. Then you got white cabinets. You got gold knobs, but then you got stainless steel appliances. It's just way too much. She really needs to take a few elements out, okay? Where, I would have thought in that, rustic hunting cabin direction would have been so much more interesting. It just, to me, it looks like a very modern kitchen in a very country eclectic home. It just doesn't go.
The emerald hall. I love this color. And it also matches my outfit from the cover of my record. This is my favorite spot in the house. This is the place we hang out. This is where I write my music. This is where we have band rehearsals. This is where we congregate, right here. My favorite kind of art is velvet paintings, and a lot of these were made back in the 70s. I knew that I needed a big old couch down here because I knew that I was going to have a lot of people down here hanging out.
Way better. Did you notice this? The only problem here are the floors. You could have got really old barn doors, would have given that Western vibe and energy. But this is, again, a lot more consistent than upstairs. Upstairs, it was grandma plus Western plus modern. It was just way too much. This is working way better.
I'm a dang good host. I even have a tip drawer right here. One of my co-writers dropped me a $20 bill the other day because I make a mean old-fashioned. You got to make your old-fashions with Barman. I'm talking about Barman 1873. We don't measure things around here. We just do how we feeling that day. A little bit of regular bitters like that. This is flavored bark. This is where it gets dangerous. It looks good. Somebody want this?
Wow, she's a badass. I like her. But I want to talk about the basement. I talk about basements on my channel all the time, and she's nailed it. On a smaller scale, it's not a mansion, it's a regular home, and you can implement this in your home. See, your entry to your basement is super important. It's like a private driveway, right? It needs to set you up, set the mood, and then it has to release once you get there. I hate basements that you enter into a hallway and then it's room to room to room, and people try to create different experiences in each room. Horrible design. This one comes in center and gives you just one space. It feels airy and roomy, even though it's got pretty low ceilings, but because they didn't try to do like 4 or 5 rooms out of it, right? It's one room and it's for adults. It's for entertainment. It's for music. It's for hanging out. It's away from the bedrooms on the upper floors by 2 floors, which is fantastic.
This is my closet. This is where I spend a lot of my time. A lot of things come into this room and go out of this room. Every tour outfit, every press outfit. This is one of my happy places. This is where I feel creative. I've always been a sucker for bell bottoms. I remember putting them on when I was 9 years old and remember how they made me feel sassy, made me feel like I could do anything. And so I never grew out of it. When we were doing the Wrangler collection, my mama used to always say, we all put our breeches on the same way, one leg at a time. So on the inside of the Wrangler pocket, so we all put our Wranglers on the same way, which to me just means we all the same. We all love, we all hurt, we all bleed red. I am a sucker for vintage blouses. A lot of my vintage clothes I get from Etsy or eBay. I'll be digging. I'll fight you over a vintage piece. Don't come for me.
Okay, let me tell you guys what I like about this closet and what I don't like about it. I like the fact that it has a seating arrangement in the middle. It's important for the ladies to have their friends or stylists be in the room present when they're getting ready and give opinions and just hang out, okay? I also like the fact that it's super organized, right? She's not gone out with like really new style, modern design. It's very rustic and old school, but it feels very organized and in order. On the same token, here are the things that I don't like about it. There's 3 types of wood being used. The floors, this older cabinet, which I like the most, the color of, and this newer cabinet. And then what happened to the rustic charm and everything? You see this kind of white color behind the cabinets. It's just not ideal. I really feel like this was an opportunity to go with more of a rustic look, more of a hunting cabin than just old school vintage vibe and energy. I think this would have played into her liking and she would have enjoyed it, and I think she would have liked it more than what she has right now.
Let me show you the bedroom now. Yep, I'm one of those. People gonna be watching this being like, I can't believe she lets the dog in the bed. I knew that when I was designing this bedroom, I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel like I could close these curtains and kind of shut off the world for a little bit. It feels like you can like come off the road and like snuggle down and kind of be in your own little hole in here. My friend Vanessa helped me pick out the fabric for these curtains.
I like your friend Vanessa. She realized you're going too crazy with this pattern situation, and she's like, how about just we go with the color, tone, and a texture that you want and not introduce another pattern. You can do so much with texture and color where like you don't distract the eye. And one of my biggest problem with this property and this design is it's so distractive. Your eye is constantly searching for a focal point, and it's not calming to me at all. Where like a country home, a southern home, I'm expecting a lot more texture, a lot more energy, calming energy than expressive, eclectic look, right? And if I want to go eclectic, I want to go with accessories. I want to go maybe with a rifle or some element that just kind of reminds me that I'm in a southern home, not Prince necessarily.
And these jade horses over here were actually gifted to my parents about 25 years ago by my granny. And I will never forget, my daddy was opening up his Christmas gift and he was like, what in the world is this? And so he's been trying to get rid of it for 25 years, but finally a couple years ago when I got this house, my mama said, do you want those jade horses? Because it was my favorite thing in their house. Doug had absolutely no say in the interior design. He knows when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's my way or the highway.
It's her first home ever doing. I think she's actually done a very good job. And I would say her strength is palette. She's good at understanding which colors go with each other. But instead of using 5, 6 different colors, she should have used maybe 3. Okay. And sometimes 2. So she's a little bit overdoing it.
My favorite thing about this bathroom is my stained glass. Different times of the day, the light shines through.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? We have tile looking marbles, right? Or marble looking tiles. Then we've got the stained window, which is, again, beautiful. I love this on a modern window frame with a very oriental wallpaper. Too much. Way too much. At the very minimum, you should have picked a frame for the window or a window that actually goes and got rid of this white marble tiles for your shower and would have done something that actually goes with that color tone, because it's such an abrupt break, right? Like this white and then super, super busy oriental looking wallpaper.
This is a landing where I keep a lot of my plaques and my trophies. Let me preface by saying these are not all my trophies. A lot of my trophies are at the Country Music Hall of Fame because I have my very own exhibit there. It's really cool to be able to kind of zoom out and see how far I've come. It was like a lot of tiny little steps, and then all of a sudden I started taking some bigger steps.
Okay, I love this landing. It's gorgeous. Again, I love the way the stairways are situated, both for the basement and for the upper floor. And I love this kind of railed in upper floor landing area. It's so charming and a great place for her to put incredible amount of trophies. She must be really, really famous. I don't know her, but seems like she's probably one of the top country singers in the world. How I would have done it differently. Back to what I said earlier. Instead of this kind of taupe color paint, I would have gone with fabric. Like I would have found a denim color or pattern or checkered, that kind of Western cowboy pattern on the walls that would have warmed up this room significantly. And I really think she should look into it because I think she will love it. I think she will get it and she will love it instead of this paint color. Okay, let's give it an Arvin score. But before I do that, if you're planning to remodel your property or build your dream home, there's a lot of decisions that you have to make, okay? Every vendor is going to try to pull you in different direction. If you want someone to consult with, to help you make decisions faster, better, cheaper, so you, at the end of the day, you will have a property that not just you like, but also will have a line out the door when one day you try to sell it. Resale value, I would love to be that guy to you. Here's my QR code. You can fill out an application. If you're a right fit, I would love to help you out. Okay, location. I have no idea where in Nashville this property is, but considering she seems to be very, very famous and probably very, very successful, I'm going to give her an 8, okay? Don't kill me. Lot quality. Again, I have no idea where the address in this property is. Having said that, it seems like it's a small house on a big ranch property. So I'm assuming a very, very good lot. I'm going to give it another 8. Lot utilization, back to the same tone. I think it's a small house on a big lot, meaning the house is going to sit very comfortably. And from my visit to Nashville, where I've seen the single family homes and big ranch homes, this seems to be like a teardown for a big property, which she kept and she renovated, and she probably can build a big, big home on this. So I'm going to give it a 9. Privacy. I'm going to give it a 7. Lot orientation, again, same thing. I don't know which way the sun is coming, but it's a small house on a big lot, so it should have a lot of natural light coming. You don't have any neighbors right next to you. It should be lit. I'm going to give it a 7. Architectural style. You know what's funny? Architectural Digest should be called Interior Design Digest because there's nothing about their channel that is really architectural. They never show the exterior of the homes. So it's really hard to judge. Having said that, this seems to be a house that it's well aged. And from the houses, again, I've seen in Nashville a long time ago. You got to trust me, bro. Okay? Trust me. I'm going to give it a 7. Layout. Okay, I'm so glad I have something to say about this. The layout was really good. You have an internal wow factor through that foyer coming in. You have a powder room to your right. And then to your left, you had this beautiful family formal room, kitchen. You got everything out of the way, right? And then you had your primary bedroom on the lower floor, which was pretty big. And then you had an amazing basement downstairs. And I want to say at least 3 bedrooms, maybe 3 bedrooms and an office upstairs, which is very generous for this kind of a smaller footprint home. And it had a lot to do with where the staircase was positioned. I really think this staircase, its central location, really enabled this house to breathe, and the dimensions it had, it allowed it to, have a very cohesive, good bedroom separation, internal wow factors, and good flow in general. So I'm going to give it an 8. Scale and volume. Look, this was not a mansion whatsoever. Okay, it's a very average size home, but the rooms were proportional. Basement ceiling heights were really low. I can't give it anything more than a 4. Finishes, I'm going to give it a 6, and I'll tell you guys why. I think she's actually really good with palettes. She understands color matching. She understands how to pull the colors together, but she was completely overdoing it. And she forgot to introduce certain elements of the Western, rustic, Southern charm into the property, which I think it would have landed really easily. And for that reason, I'm giving her a 6. Okay, here's the Arvin score, and here's Lenny Kravitz's home in Paris. It's eclectic, but he introduces the idea of sprezzatura. I explained what it is. It's a really interesting video. You should definitely check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comments.